Councillor Shepherd.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've heard today concerns about monitoring of the emissions that come out of the stack. And could you help us by explaining how that process is done, how you do monitor the emissions, to whom do you report, how frequently, and what are you monitoring? Could you maybe give us some information on that, please?
Yes, sir. And if I may, we have our environmental engineer here. If I could ask him to help address your question, I would appreciate it. It's Mr. Sam Joshi.
Thank you, John. My name is Samuel Joshi. I'm an environmental engineer. I understand your question is about the continuous emissions monitoring.
Monitoring the emissions, how frequently, how do you do it, who do you report the results to, and what do you monitor?
Correct. What we are proposing is continuous emissions monitoring. I'm trying to remember, it's about 9 or 10 different pollutants or criterias. We would be monitoring on a continuous basis for oxygen, NOx, SO2, CO, ammonia, HF, HCl, which are acid gases. Along with, there will be a resin canister to capture, absorb dioxins and furans, which will be analyzed every 15 to 30 days. That is, once again, these are what we are proposing in our proposal, and the final details will be essentially dictated by Ministry of Environment. Besides that, we have also, these are environmental continuous emissions monitors. Besides that, we will also have operational monitors, which will be oxygen, temperature, and pressure drop across the entire boiler and the train, which would actually have a direct feedback to the operations room where they can, which they can monitor on a continuous basis. Did I answer your question?
Well, sort of. Is this data reported to any independent body, like Ministry of Environment or any other? I mean, is it just kept in-house, or is it...
All the data, environmental emissions monitoring data is available for the regulatory agencies as far as the period in terms of, there are two things I want to mention. One is an official submission that we will be making on a periodic basis to the regulatory agency. And the second thing is, if we have committed to actually have this data available live, on live basis, on a bulletin board. So if somebody can log in and find out what was the emissions for a certain pollutant or a criteria like oxygen, if they wanted to know what was the oxygen level of the stack at 10 o'clock this morning, they could do that.
So you will have the facility then, the ability to record that data, to measure those emissions. And would a member of the general public be able to dial in on that, or is that strictly reserved for certain agencies?
The region may be best able to respond to that one. I'm not sure how the reporting particulars will work, but all that will be, I'm sure, laid out in great detail in the permit. Typically, there is continuing reporting and monthly and maybe even annual report to MOE, and all of that's public information.
So, but you quoted, or the gentleman did quoted that it was online. So that assumes that you can dial up and look at it. Is that
it's all public information.
All public information. So anybody could go and get it.
That's correct.
Thank you.